Bogor is a city in the West Java province, Indonesia. Located around 60 kilometers, 37 miles, south from the national capital of Jakarta, Bogor is the sixth largest city of Jabodetabek, Jakarta Metropolitan Region, and the 14th nationwide. Bogor is an important economic, scientific, cultural and tourist center, as well as a mountain resort. In the Middle Ages, the city was the capital of Sunda Kingdom, Indonesia and Kerajaan Sunda, and was called Pakuan Pajajaran. During the Dutch colonial era, it was named Buitenzorg, meaning without a care in Dutch, and served as the summer residence of the Governor-General of Dutch East Indies. With several 100,000 people living on an area of about 20 square kilometers, 7.7 square miles, the central part of Bogor is one of the world's most densely populated areas. The city has a presidential palace and a botanical garden, Indonesia and Kebun Raya Bogor, one of the oldest and largest in the world. It bears the nickname the Rain City, Kota Hujan, because of frequent rain showers. It nearly always rains even during the dry season. Pre-colonial period. The first mentioning of a settlement at present Bogor dates to the 5th century when the area was part of Tarumanagara, one of the earliest states in Indonesian history. After a series of defeats from the neighboring Sriwijaya, Tarumanagara was transformed into the Sunda Kingdom, and in 669, the capital of Sunda was built between two parallel rivers, the Siliwangi and Sistane. It was named Pakuan Pajajaran, that in Old Sundanese means a place between the parallel rivers, and became the predecessor of the modern Bogor. Over the next several centuries, Pakuan Pajajaran became one of the largest cities in medieval Indonesia with population reaching 48,000. The name Pajajaran was then used for the entire kingdom, and the capital was simply called Pakuan. The chronicles of that time were written in Sanskrit, which was the language used for official and religious purposes, using the Pallava writing system, on rock stelas called prasasti. The prasasti found in and around Bogor differ in shape and text style from other Indonesian prasasti and are among the main attractions of the city. In the 9th to 15th centuries, the capital was moving between Pakuan and other cities of the kingdom, and finally returned to Pakuan by King Siliwangi, Sri Baduga Maharaja, on June 3, 1482, the day of his coronation. Since 1973, this date is celebrated in Bogor as an official city holiday. In 1579, Pakuan was captured and almost completely destroyed by the army of Sultanate of Band, ceasing the existence of the state of Sunda. The city was abandoned and remained uninhabited for decades. Colonial period. Dutch East India Company. In the second half of the 17th century, the abandoned Pakuan as most of West Java, while formally remaining under the Sultanate of Band, gradually passed under control of the Dutch East India Company, VOC. The formal transition occurred on April 17, 1684 by signing an agreement between the Crown Prince of Band and the VOC. The first, intemporal, colonial settlement at Pakuan was a camp of Lieutenant Tanoejiwa, a Sundanese employed by the VOC who was sent in 1687 to develop the area. It was seriously damaged by the eruption on 4 January 5, 1699 of the Mount Salak volcano, Indonesia and Gunung Salak. However, the concomitant forest fires removed much forest, leaving much area for the planned rice and coffee plantations. In a short time, several agricultural settlements appeared around Pakuan, the largest being Kampung Baru, lit. New Village. In 1701, they were combined into an administrative district. Tanoejiwa was chosen as the head of the district and is regarded as the founder of the modern Bogor Regency. The district was further developed during the 1703 Dutch mission headed by the Inspector General of the VOC Abraham van Riebeek, the son of the founder of Cape Town Jan van Riebeeck and later governor of Dutch East Indies. The expedition of Van Riebeeck performed a detailed study of the Pacoan ruins, discovered and described many archaeological artifacts, including prosopsy, and erected buildings for the VUC employees. The area attracted the Dutch by a favorable geographical position and mild climate, preferred over the hot Batavia, which was then the administrative center of the Dutch East Indies. In 1744 to 1745, the residence of the Governor-General was built in Pacoan, which was hosting the government during the summer. In 1746, by the order of the Governor-General Gustav Willem van Imhoff, the palace, a nearby Dutch settlement and 9 native settlements were merged into an administrative division named Buitenzorg, Dutch for beyond, or outside, concerns, meaning without worries or carefree, cf. Frederick the Great of Prussia's summer palace outside Potsdam, Sanssouci, with the same meaning in French. Around the same time, the first reference to Bogor as the local name of the city was documented. It was mentioned in the administration report from April 7, 1752 with respect to the part of Buitenzorg adjacent to the palace. Later this name became used for the whole city as the local alternative to Buitenzorg. This name is believed to originate from the Javanese word Bogor meaning sugar palm, Orangapita, which is still used in the Indonesian language. Alternative origins are the old Javanese word bagar, meaning cow, or simply the misspelling of Buitenzorg by the local residents. The city grew rapidly in the late 18th, early 19th centuries. This growth was partly stimulated by the temporary occupation of the Dutch East Indies by United Kingdom in 1811 to 1815. The British landed on Java and other Sunda Islands to prevent their capture by Napoleonic France, which then conquered the Netherlands. The head of the British administration, Stamford Raffles, moved the administrative center from Batavia to Buitenzorg and implemented new and more efficient management techniques. Rule of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. After Buitenzorg was returned to the Dutch, it fell under the rule of the Kingdom of the Netherlands rather than VUC. The Buitenzorg Palace was reinstated as the summer residence of the Governor-General. A botanical garden was set up nearby in 1817, which was one of the world's largest gardens in the 19th century. On October 10, 1834, Buitenzorg was seriously damaged by another eruption of the Salik volcano caused by an earthquake. Taking into account the seismic activity of the region, the governor's palace and office buildings constructed in 1840 to 1850 were built shorter but sturdier than those built prior to the eruption. The governor's decree of 1845 prescribed separate settlements of European, Chinese and Arab migrants within the city. In 1860 to 1880, the largest agricultural school in the colony was established in Buitenzorg. Other scientific institutions including a city library, natural science museum, biology, chemistry, and veterinary medicine laboratories were also constructed during this period. By the end of the 19th century, Buitenzorg became one of the most developed and westernized cities in Indonesia. In 1904, Buitenzorg formally became the administrative center of the Dutch East Indies. However, real management remained in Batavia, which hosted most of the administrative offices and the main office of the governor. This status was revoked in the administrative reform of 1924, which divided the colony into provinces and set Buitenzorg as the center of West Java Province. 1942 to 1950. During World War II, Buitenzorg and the entire territory of Dutch East Indies were occupied by Japanese forces. The occupation lasted from March 6, 1942 until the summer of 1945. As part of the efforts by the Japanese to promote nationalist, and thus anti-Dutch, sentiments among the local population, the city was given the Indonesian name Bogor. The city had one of the major training centers of the Indonesian militia PETA, Pembela Tanah Air, Defenders of the Motherland. On August 17, 1945, Sukarno had proclaimed independence, but the Dutch regained control of the town and adjoining areas. In February 1948, Bogor was included in the quasi-independent state of West Java, Indonesia and Negara Jawa Barat, which was renamed Pasundan in April 1948, Indonesia and Negara Pasundan. This state was established by the Netherlands as a step to transform their former colonial possessions in the East Indies into a dependent federation. In December 1949, Pasundan joined the Republic of the United States of Indonesia, Indonesia and Republik Indonesia Serikat, RIS, established at the Dutch-Indonesian Round Table Conference of 23 August, November 2, 1949. In February 1950, as a result of defeat of Pasundan in a quick military conflict with the Republic of Indonesia, the city became part of Indonesia, as formalized in August 1950, and its name was officially declared as Bogor. As part of Indonesia, as part of independent Indonesia, Bogor has a significant role in the cultural, scientific and economic development of the country and West Java in particular, in part due to the legacy of infrastructure built during the colonial period. Its special position was further reinforced by the transformation of the former summer residence of the Governor-General into the summer palace of the President of Indonesia. In the 1990s-2000s, the city regularly hosted various international events, such as ministry-level meetings of the Asia-Pacific institutions and the APEC Summit of November 15, 1994. Since 2008, a Christian church congregation in Bogor has been embroiled with Islamic fundamentalists over the building permit for their new church.